Hello everyone. I have Sudarshan with me,
Hello.
a new friend of mine, also a professional beatboxer, I would say.
Yes.
And my objective is very clear. At the end of this video, I want to make things clear to people. Those who call me as a very good beatboxer, they would get to know that I am shitty beatboxer.
Okay, first of all, you're not a shitty beatboxer, okay? No one is a shitty beatboxer, it's just beginner and pro. It's just that. No one is a shitty beatboxer.
Alright.
Yes.
According to me, everyone's beginner. You are also a beginner
Yes.
because there will be things that you'll be learning and you'll be like, it was a very basic thing and I didn't know that. And I'm still competing.
Exactly.
Is it so?
Yes.
Do you think the same?
Yes, because one of the sounds in our community is called a slizzer roll. Many people have gotten it in like their first 3-4 tries, or even within a week. In my 4.5 years of beatboxing, I haven't been able to do the song. So it like still bugs me, but yeah.
So do you know how to do it?
No, I can't.
Something similar to that.
Something, yeah.
Uh, Tell me about your recent trip.
Okay, so recently I was in Delhi and then in Vadodara. I was away for a few projects for first Haryana beatbox community. So they have restarted their community properly and they are putting out properly well filmed and properly good routines. Okay. So like proper high quality videos so that you know the standard is already high. So I filmed a music video for that with my good friend Karma from Delhi. So we did that, and I also did create some real content with him. Then in Vadodara, I was there for one of my, if not my biggest project yet. So as I shared with him just like 5 minutes back, my favorite song of all time is Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji. So I decided that I'll be making a cover of it. So the singing will be me, and the unique part of it is the beats inside it is all beatbox, and the music. So the is all vocal. Is vocal sample that I put on the keys and we played it with help of my ma'am. So it is a properly produced song and it's a music video as well.
Yeah.
It's a proper music video.
Do cast me and dance in that video.
No, it's the filming is done, but
I'll make covers.
Hmm.
Alag se. Because like you said, you want to make Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji ka beatbox cover. If you know Sushant Khatri,
Yes.
he's a dancer, absolutely brilliant lyrical dancer ever.
Amazing.
So I follow him, and I saw him dancing on this song, and I was like, bro, I want to do something similar to that.
Yeah.
I want to make my own, dance steps on it.
Mm.
I'm still learning. I think when I was self-taught,
Mm.
I didn't know I didn't know that how I need to bring resistance in my body.
Exactly.
Because like you'll also understand, when you beatbox, you need to stop yourself at a exact point where it will sound right, because going ahead might make it sound weird, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's the same with every art form.
Yes.
The reason why I bring artists is because I think with other genres as well, which I talk about, is history, contemporary, and art. I think like hip hop. Hip hop has its origin from a point where in history people wanted, especially the black people, wanted to stand against white people. That is where hip hop started. So the importance of art is not just for the entertainment basis, but also it is important to know why we are bringing up art here. We are how art has come, out in this world. It is maybe because of the romanticism related to that. Also, the protest, the activism people show by using an art form. Yeah. So both of us do hip hop. So we have a lot, not a lot, but we have some knowledge about hip hop, and we'll try to break it down as well in this podcast going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So so the importance of resistance, the importance of having clean steps.
Yes.
I didn't know that, and once I joined the institute. By the way, my next guest is the owner of that institute.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So also is my guru. So there I learned the importance of these two things: resistance and doing the steps cleanly. Even if you don't have that much energy, the other person who is watching you must know that maybe he's putting a lot of energy, but you should not.
Exactly.
Yeah. So also there's a very famous beatbox crew. They have been to India, America's Got Talent. They are from France. They are called Berywam.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So my friend met them during December, I guess.
Yes, in December during the Indian Beatbox Festival. So Berywam is like that crew because of which I started beatboxing. One member of it specifically named Wawad. So that guy, he kicked off my beatbox journey because it was their America's Got Talent audition, and in that he did a beat like with the animals. So I was very fascinated by that. I was like, okay, let me try it. So the reason I started beatboxing was to try and replicate that. कि हाँ मैं भी करके देखूंगा. It was that kind of thing. But they are literally my godfathers in beatbox. I would not have started without them.
So what were they for again? India में किस लिए आए थे वो?
Indian Beatbox Festival. It was the official Indian championship.
So they were here for judging the
Yes.
event, also to perform.
Yes.
The reason why I remember December is because on 18th December we had FIFA World Cup final.
Oh yeah.
Argentina versus France.
Oh yeah.
And Bawad put it on the like as a vlog where he was very sad, but he was happy that he was performing. Oh yeah. They are from France. They were supporting France.
Okay, so yeah, fun fact. We were like, okay, Wawa, then everyone were like backstage, right? So as like France caught up with the goals, we saw Wawa like come out in excitement and like he was like, oh, they have caught up, okay, we might win and everything. So that was like the live reaction we saw. But yeah, then they lost. Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm a Messi fan.
Oh damn. I don't have any favorites.
So my friend with my live. So mostly what he does, whichever team I'm supporting, he supports the other team, the team that is against me. So he was supporting France because he wanted to irritate me, and I was quietly sitting when France did the comeback, and then again it happened twice. I'm sitting quietly, and he's like noticing me. Why is he not getting irritated? And deep down, I know what is going to happen. Chill down, bro. Yeah.
Intuition.
Yeah. Also, I'll tell my story about why I started beatboxing. There is a show. I think बहुत कम आया उसमें वो भी आया था दिव्यांश.
दिल हिंदुस्तानी.
Yeah, Dil Hindustani, right? Yeah. So Dil Hindustani, his name is Divyansh, na?
Divyansh.
DVK.beatbox. Yeah. So in the first season, Euphony band came.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is a beatboxer named Bhavesh.
BQ. Yeah.
Yeah. I was him. For the first time, I got to know someone can bring out sounds from their mouth. Yeah. So I started watching him, and the first sound I know it was something he was doing with his throat, bringing out the heart noise. Yeah, something. Yeah, this one. So I was like, I want to do this. And I kept doing. I didn't take any lessons की boots कैसे करते हैं, cats कैसे करते हैं, या snare कैसे करते हैं. Even if I do it, I don't know if what that is called. Right. So I just started copying them. I just started listening to people. कि हाँ ये कैसे कर रहे हैं. And like you said, कि Wawad is your godfather. Yeah. For me, from Berywam, it's Ridmine.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I love him. I love his. There's Swiss Beatbox Challenge, right? Yeah. So he won it in 2018, I guess. I don't remember the exact year.
Grand Beatbox Battle.
That happens in, I think, that Swiss. I know that Swiss Beatbox Challenge.
Beatbox organizes it, but that official championship is GBB Grand Beatbox.
Yeah, maybe.
So mine won in 2019.
Acha. Yeah. Okay. So my favorite one was his semi-final performance, where he made still Dre ka still wala.
Oh yes, I think I remember that.
So I used to listen to it a lot, and I tried copying it. But I couldn't. Yeah. So also now tell everyone about what made you fall in. Okay, so like you said, Berywam was the reason, but what was the motivation behind giving everything to beatbox?
Okay, so like me, I'm like a very impatient person, I'm very fidgety. So tried learning piano, guitar, and everything, but I could never stick to it. Like sitting down and practicing for 2 hours straight didn't work with me. So what happened? Ki when I started beatboxing, it was like, okay, I can do this anywhere, anytime. Like most of us are bathroom singers, bathroom beatboxers are is a big thing. We get
Like
that.
Bill Gates says, uh, look for lazy people because they'll come with the best ideas.
Yes.
So laziness made him the professional beatboxer. We know.
Fair enough, because yeah, beatboxing is like, okay, for me, I'm obviously biased a little bit, but beatboxing for me is the only art form which truly has no boundaries. If you think about it, every instrument is kind of confined to that instrument. You have a set number of strings or keys that you can play, and that tonality that comes from it, you can only play it a certain way. For a piano, you can only use your fingers and sit down. You can't jump or acrobat or something. Guitar, you have to handle it care and you have to play with the strings.
Yeah.
Flute, you have to hold it in place. The sound won't differ every time. But with beatboxing, there's literally no boundary. Like any kind of sound you want to make, you can do it. Any kind of rhythm you want to make, you can do it. And whenever you want to do it, you can do it. There are no rules in beatboxing except for following some basic music rules. Don't take this very seriously, please. Otherwise, your parents are gonna kill me that हमारा बच्चा तुम्हारी वैसा अजीब आवाज निकाल रहा है.
The same thing happens with me at my home. So my mother loves it. Everything I do, my mother loves it. Except her, everyone is like, "What is he doing?" So during the lockdown period, I gave almost 6-7 hours to my electric guitar. Oh, okay. I played it extensively, and I think I picked up guitar in class 9th, but I was never consistent. So in class 10th end में, so there was some sort of activity which used to happen. So during the evening sports time, we had our guitar teacher, music teacher, dance teacher, everyone. They used to come. So I was always like, I want to dance. मेरे को dance class में जाना है. But because of some reason, dance classes were suspended. So and the music sir, the guitar teacher, I feel really blessed to have him as my first teacher because every time every time when you see someone who is very good at any instrument, you know that they have given a lot of time to that thing, right? But with me, I was very lazy when it came to guitar. I was good at it. I learned it really well, very fast. What he did, he sent two people, asked them to bring me to him and make me and he made me attend the classes, and he said, I don't know what is up with you, but you are really good at it. Why aren't you coming? And I still hesitated, and I didn't want to go, but I went there. He taught me a song named Aankh Mare. I played it in, I think, 1 or 2 weeks. Wow. And then there was the realization that I can do it. I can really play it well. So during the lockdown period, so during the first lockdown, I was not in a good condition at all. Right. So I was at my home where I didn't have anything to do. Whatever I wanted to do was not possible because I live in a very small town in UP. Right. So when the second lockdown was there, I was like, Pranav, you can't let the same thing happen again. So I picked up guitar, gave 6 to 7 hours to it every day, and whatever I learned in those 3 months, I think if I would have been consistent, in past 2 years, it would have been the same result. So in 3 months, I practiced that इतना सारा that वो पिछले 2-2.5 साल का पूरा कसर हो गया. Yeah.
It depends really. सबका अपना अपना होता है, but if the amount of hours you give does correspond, like beatboxing में भी ऐसा रहता है. So beatboxing में एक element होता है originality. So when you start out, सब लोग boots and cats या इन सब से start करते हैं, so you can't really be original in your own way, right? So many professional beatboxers ने भी कहा है, after you invest a certain number of hours, you discover your style, the way you want to use sounds, तो उसमें भी originality अपना आ ही जाता है. And plus गिटार में कैसे है कि I have a few friends जो like दिन में या फिर 2 दिन में 2-3 घंटा देते हैं, लेकिन फिर लेवल अप में टाइम लगता है। अभी 6-7 घंटे तो कैसे ही दे दिए मुझे पता नहीं। वो डेडिकेशन अलग ही है।
कुछ था ही नहीं ना करने को।
फैन मेरे पास भी नहीं था लॉकडाउन में, तभी तो बीट बॉक्सिंग आ गई।
So that was the time when you peaked.
या सो मुझे बीट बॉक्सिंग का आइडिया आई थिंक 10th स्टैंडर्ड में लगा था कि ऐसी कोई चीज़ होती है, लेकिन आई डेंट पे मच माइंड। तो 10th स्टैंडर्ड में एनुअल डे आया था, एंड एनुअल डे से पहले भी सो वी हैड ए ट्रिप टू इमेजिका। उसमें रिटर्न होने के बाद आवर डांस सर इन दी असेंबली वाज लाइक, अरे मेरे बस में एक लड़का था जो काफ़ी मस्त म्यूजिक बजा रहा था मुझसे, एंड ही गॉट हिम लाइक इन फ्रंट ऑफ द असेंबली एंड ही परफॉर्म। मुझे भी उसका इतना मेमोरी नहीं है, बट आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ही वाज लाइक अ decent beatboxer at the time. So I was like, okay, interesting. And 10th के एनुअल डे की प्रैक्टिस के बाद वन ऑफ माय अदर क्लासमेट्स नेम्ड ऋषभ, वो एको प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था बीटबॉक्सिंग में। टू टू
अच्छा,
was like
वो माइक वाला।
yeah, mom, टू 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 he was like doing this and we were like, okay, क्या कर रहा है ये?
तो
And-
वो लाइक वैसा साउंड हो रहा था, एको टाइप का।
yeah, so he was like one of the first beatboxers जिसको मैंने सुना था, and he was pretty good at the time, according to my ears, because तब knowledge नहीं थी। but yeah, 10th स्टैंडर्ड में I got to know थोड़ा थोड़ा, फिर यूट्यूब, बेरीवैम मिले, एशियाज गॉट टैलेंट सब मिला, and then I started doing, went to tutorials and everything.
So you went to the Asia's Got Talent?
No, I saw videos from Asia's Got Talent.
Okay.
यार Asia's Got Talent में होता तो अभी मैं खाई होता।
Someday he'll be there, and I'll say 2 years back I recorded a podcast with upcoming superstar.
Who?
You.
Oh, then we are talking 2 years into the future. Wow. Beatboxing, no, see, in beatboxing, like one of the major problems that makes people quit is money. Because beatboxing is such a niche art form right now, even though it's gaining traction. How do you apply it in the music industry? Not many people know that.
Even musicians.
Yeah, even like, okay, so would you rather prefer a drummer slash cajon player or a beatboxer?
Just go and tell them कि इतना पैसा नहीं लगेगा आपको, आप मेरे पे ही डालो.
Yeah, but will the beatboxer perform as well as the drummer? Okay, so let's take for example, a drummer will charge you, let's say 3,000. Beatboxer might only charge you what, 1,000. It's 3 times less cost. But a beat drummer का physical capacity in, like, you know, stretching out a show is much more than a beatboxer, and drum का sound अलग है. So beatboxer can give his output, the show will be nice, but output उतना अच्छा ना हो शायद. It's very experimental क्योंकि हर beatboxer का stamina अलग रहता है. I might be able to go for like 30-45 minute shows depending on what kind of thing I'm doing. If I'm going really hard on my beat, so 10-15 minutes maybe, because the body gets tired. It's like a workout. But then for audience, will the audience enjoy it? You never know. Would you rather like earn 10,000 from a show by investing 3,000 into a drummer, or would you just earn like 4,000 by investing 1,000 into it?
So, what is the solution?
Okay, so solution wise, beatboxing, something that I feel beatboxing could be very useful in the production industry, because we are walking sample packs. I myself can do over 100 sounds. Many of my friends can do 150 or something. So the sound pack is always different, and we are all unique in our ways. So production is good thing. Performance is a thing, but then designing the performance in that particular way is important. In like okay, I have performed with bands and everything, but again, it depends the stamina factor. And you need to know how to jam with musicians. A lot of beatboxer new schoolers nowadays, they are confined in that 2 to 3 minute max space. That I have to make a routine or set, and it has to be 3 minutes long, because that's where like the mentality kind of like blocks them. कि हाँ मेरा, because their main exposure like is in ciphers, where they are doing just one beat constantly, or it's battles where the elimination is 1 minute 30 or 2 minutes, and the battles are 1 minute 30 rounds. So they never get past that. For that, you have to like jam with other musicians and like get to know how to actually be rhythmically well.
So like you talked about new school.
Hmm.
So there's old school, there's new school, and there's one more, right?
No, new school is always like the current generation.
Okay. So tell a little bit more about what old school and new school is and their differences.
Okay, so old school was basically, according to what I think and know, old school was when it just started out, and new school is what old new school is inspired by the old school. So like old school had their own techniques, but new school basically innovates on them. That's
So
basically
the base is old school itself.
the base is old school. If old school wasn't there, new school would not exist. New school is basically new beatboxers coming up with their special sounds.
It's not like Bollywood at all.
No. But yeah, new school, if you think about it, like there's not really a difference. It depends on your mentality. Even if you're a new school beatboxer, if your core value lies with old school, you never know. But new school ke style mein is like very technique combo or sound based. Whereas I feel old school was very in the base. Their basics mattered. Their foundation was very clear. Nowadays, people ignore their basics a lot.
Also, have you ever battled in underground beatbox
Oh
competition?
yeah, plenty times.
Is it very much similar to how other things happen? Like कैसे dance में होता है?
Yeah, dance battles, rap battles, and beatbox battles, pretty similar. Like in rap battles, you go forth, you diss each other. So in beatboxing, it's like punchlines or like countering each other. So it's based on points. In rap, it's like how good your flow is, how clear you are with your words, your timings, and how good your delivery is, and how good you can roast the other person.
So how would you explain the same thing to a 10-year-old?
बेटा दो लोग आमने सामने खड़े होंगे, वो अपने मुंह से आवाजें निकालेंगे, जो आवाज ज्यादा अच्छे से निकालेगा वो जीत जाएगा. But yeah, it really goes beyond that because beatbox categories no originality, as I mentioned. Then comes musicality, how good you are in the musical sense. Then technicality, something that I kind of specialize in. The technical, the complexity aspect. And then structure, like how well structured your beats are and how like easy or good it is to understand them. Because we don't want the audience like thinking, क्या कर रहा है, क्यों कर रहा है.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think is the current status of beatboxing in India, and what would be the case after, let's say, 2 years?
Hmm. The current status is nice
As
because-
compared to the past times.
Oh, compared to the past, like beatboxing started gaining some traction in 2019 and 2020 because of Gully Boy, obviously. Actually, beatboxing in the Bollywood scenario was already introduced in 2018 in Jagga Jasoos.
Yeah, alright, somewhere.
So one of my friends from the Bombay beatbox scene is Nagesh. He's one of the very first people in the Bombay space to start. So he was the one who beatboxed in Jaga Jasoos, where Ranbir Kapoor like beatboxes and starts speaking in that rhyme because he had a problem. He had to speak in a musical way.
Okay.
So they used beatboxing for one of the scenes. I was like, wow, this is well done. So I was asking who is this, and they're like Nagesh. So I was like, wow. Then in 2019, Gully Boy came with Ranveer Singh rapping. Beatboxing was not a very big part, but it did highlight beatboxing in a big way. So Beatbox, Decipher, Beat Raw, Sonu Beatbox. These guys, as far as my knowledge goes, were the ones in Gully Boy. So from there, the hip hop scene in general kind of started to take off because people saw the potential in that. Now, if lockdown would not have hit, the scene that we are in right now would have already happened in 2021. Honestly, and because of DVK winning India's Got Talent, being in the Hindustani, so beatbox has gained a lot of traction there because they now know that beatboxing exists and it has won national television and been on like, okay, America's Got Talent and all the other talent shows have had beatboxing on them for a while.
Yeah.
So there have been kids, crews.
There's one more crew that is gone. India's Got Talent.
Yeah, Pint.
Point. Yeah.
Pint. They are from.
They're like suppose Indian version of Berywam. No?
Yeah, if you okay.
4 people in the same position doing the same thing.
Okay. So for me, the Indian version of Berywam is Young Drug. They are from Mumbai, like Kalyan. Okay, so they are one of the more prominent crews. Then there's Decibel. There's the Decibel Indian crew from Kalyan again.
Decibel and DESIBEL. Okay.
DESIBLE.
BLE. Okay.
Yes. So they have Wadafu, the 2018 Indian champion, Mihir, Sonu, and Shivali. They have recently qualified for GBB. So they are currently top 5 in the world.
Oh, are they still in Mumbai? Or
they live in Kalyan.
alright. Is Kalyan not a part of Mumbai?
Okay, we are not getting into that. See,
Kalyan I don't know.
Okay, so Kalyan is pretty far from Mumbai.
It's like Thane.
Oh, it's even further than Thane.
Badlapur, you know.
Yeah, I think so. So if you can, you'll have to travel. I think 2.5 something hours to reach Kalyan from here. Yeah, okay. Kalyan is pretty far. We consider it a part of Bombay, but we don't know what the border states. So I'm not gonna get into that. So if, in my head, yes, it's from Mumbai itself. So yeah, they are there. So there are 2 very prominent crews from Mumbai. Pint is from Delhi. Amazing guys. Like one of the members 2018 Vice Indian champ. One of the member Tannen, one of the best beatboxers in the country, rhythmically, and like the sense of knowledge and rhythm is just outstanding. Like the entire crew is crazy, and I'm very proud. Another beatbox act got to showcase on IGT after DVK. So the wave is coming. Like DVK kind of kickstarted the point where now beatboxers are more willing to go out in the space and actually showcase themselves, which will be very beneficial in the coming years.
What I want from you is, suppose someone wants to start beatboxing, goes on YouTube, searches what should I do to start, finds a lot of videos, gets confused. Okay. What should they do? I mean, like, just maybe like how boots and cats work. Maybe tell them on like the basics that they require, and once they are done with basics, what else they would need.
Okay, so first of all, there are a few channels that you can follow for tutorials. There's Tyler Dubya, TYLADUBYA. So he's one of the major people who started the tutorials beatbox. Then for the Indian audience who want a more familiar face, there's Jivak, JEEWAK. He's pretty prominent with the tutorial things in India. And in general, so a lot of beatboxers can do tutorials. These 2 are the ones who I watched a lot. And if you want like specialized sounds you want to know, a lot of beatboxers have posted about it. So that is kind of the see that, because everyone has their own way of doing a sound. It can be one single sound, but everyone has their own way of doing it. To learn a certain sound, you might have to go through a few videos to get the right method for you, because not everyone's mouth is the same. You'll have to experiment and like keep searching and then keep practicing to get the sounds. But for basics, these 2 channels I think will do you pretty good. These should be good.
Do you think, so for example, how we see in Bollywood, there are Nepo kids, there are outsiders, and obviously Nepo kids are favored more. Even if there is someone someone new to the industry and is extremely good, then we get to know them slowly, and then they reach to a certain level. Do you think it's the same case with beatboxing music industry?
Okay, so first of all, as I said, beatboxing is not big enough for there to be Nepo kids. Okay, There can be nepo kids. There might be a few. I'm not aware of that.
No, I'm just
No,
giving an example of nepo kids and outsiders. So
Outsiders, yes.
I meant, suppose in musical terms, they'll big guitarists or maybe drummers, and then on one side there are beatboxers. That's it.
Okay. Maybe. So, music, the entire music industry, in a way, your entire career kind of gets built on contacts at some point. After you are after you are good enough to make your skill monetizable, you need the contacts to actually get the projects so that you can monetize your skill. So that's where kind of the difference occurs, that how well your networking and connections are. For nepo kids in beatboxing currently, I okay, if you are good friends with a celebrity and you happen to be a beatboxer, maybe you can go on a project with them. If your very good friend is a very prominent rapper, he can maybe collaborate with you. He can maybe give you a segment in his track. So that is connections there. But maybe you can call it a nepo kid. But you'd have to be good enough to do that, because in the art industry, you can only like qualify as a nepo kid and be successful when you have the skills to prove it. No one will get you on your track if you're not good enough to be on the track in the first place, no matter how good your connection is with the person. In the music industry, you have to be kind of very honest with that. Your quality of work and dedication comes first before any kind of contact.
Is there any segment that you have prepared recently for, like something new?
Oh, a new routine.
Yeah, routine. Yeah.
Yes, I prepared one for the Haryana beatbox thing. It's a completely.
Is it out?
No, it will be out in a couple of days. The audio work is done, the video work is being done.
So would you like to show it to them? Right.
So this routine was like a very skeleton based routine.
A good day.
Yeah, alright. So it's been a good day. 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 So kids, let me show you how to do some check. It's been a good day, but I'm about to make it worse. It's been a good day. It's been a good day.
Nice. Miss, क्या stage name क्या है?
My stage name is Sudarshan BBX.
BBX. Yo.
Yes, I don't have a proper stage name.
It's good now. It's easy to remember normal names, I think.
Fair enough.
Well, my show's name is TheSmallMan Show.
It's a big man show.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you have any question for me?
Okay. So, in your space, like the major challenges
In dance?
yes, in dance, because okay, I did not mention this. I forgot. Fun fact: I used to be a dancer before a beatboxer.
Hip hopper?
Yeah, I kind of trained in breakdance. My primary style was liquid pop, and Sushant Khatri. So in like 7th, 8th, 9th, a very good friend of mine, Aryan Thakur, me.
Okay.
We used to look up to, we still look up to Sushant Khatri a lot. And my friend is like, his dance style is like very strongly based off of his. So he was like
So
one of our idols.
your friend is a dancer, is it?
Yes, Aryan Thakur. So he's mad good. I love the guy.
Nice. Yes. Your question.
So okay, I never really dived into the dance space myself, Utna. So from what you have experienced and how much you love dance, you tell me like the challenges that you face, what you can look forward to in the future.
Biggest challenge is people think that dance is different from sports. It's not. The problems you face in sports, groin injury, muscle injury, everything is same. In dance, I I pulled my muscle while performing in a competition, and I kept dancing, and that was the problem because that made me stop me uh, from dance for 3 months straight, and that hurts most. But luckily, I was at home, so there, even if I want to, I can't really dance a lot. So that was somewhere I would say ki it didn't impact me much. The major challenge is same. The major challenge is money in the entertainment sector. If you are new, the problem would be money. If you are at a stage where you know you have this skill which you are really great at, and you don't really have any other thing as your option, as your plan B.
True.
Yeah, if I have some business or if I have some job that I can work for some time, save some money. So if you don't have all those things, you can't really earn that much. So what I have thought is I started my dance career. I started dancing because of my mother. She used to put me to classes, used to teach me dance, put me on the stage when I was in class 1 or 2. I didn't dance at all. I used to stand quietly that I don't know what to do. I don't know what is going to happen if I dance or if I don't dance. So the first song was Dhantaran from the movie Kamine. I was in, I think, class 1 or 2. My mother put me on the stage. I'll put the photo if I have one. So I didn't know what to do. And now the latest post of mine is on that song itself. Yeah, the dance post is there. Yo, thanks. So it's the process of learning is very important. I think more than uh, you run towards earning money or make a living out of dance or any sort of uh, artistic skill. So what I think is, uh, if you have some sort of other skill as well, suppose what I think is I'll set up a business of mine. It could be any. It could be from social media itself, or it could be so anything, right? If I can set it up really well, work on it, maybe 6 years, 7 years, and when I reach at the age of 30 or 32, I will have a lot of money to burn on what? On my skills, on my art that I already know of. Right now I'm 19. Suppose after 11 years I start putting it out in front of people. In those 11 years, if I learn consistently, I'll be on a world class level.
True. But again, in the 11 years, if you don't put out content, like as you level up, maybe you are missing out on a lot of traction. And as the industry grows and the trends keep changing, in the 11 years, a lot can happen. Even in 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah, AI will take up our jobs.
In dance, I doubt. Dance is way too unpredictable for AI to.
Yeah,
just
so
come
that
in.
Tanishq Bakshi would do something stupid.
Maybe.
Yeah, like
But,
there's that thing, Nach Meri Rani. The video you have watched, na?
Yeah, I don't think.
So
I
yesterday,
don't remember.
yesterday I was in gym, and ये वाला गाना बजता है, and Laura Fateh is robot and she's dancing, and then the robot stops working, and I'm like, what does T series make? I don't know why are they still so relevant. I don't understand that. I think they just use their reach to just put out anything.
It depends. Okay, T series.
This podcast is going to be blocked.
We are getting cancelled. No. So let's see. T series has stayed one of the major recording labels and music labels like for a long time. So it's not really a problem with T series, it's the audience that consumes the content. Because see, what will T series do if they try to make proper like old school type of Bollywood singles now? How well do you think the audience will take it? Considering every single age group, the TikTok, the TikTok influenced age group, the Reels influenced age group. So in the Instagram and like YouTube space, the ones who have very like high concentration, like the major youth who are concentrated around these influencers or stars, like Nora Fateh gained a lot of her fame in the last few years with the dance and everything that she's doing. So obviously the youth is very, you know, attracted to her. Like they would watch
We know the
anything.
reasons.
You are free to assume what you want.
Good dancing, bro.
Yeah, exactly. so, so the youth, for the most part, would watch anything that Nora would put out.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure Nora Fateh always like would keep a good quality thing. But you can't please everyone, right? So T series at the end of the day, they have to make money and they have to bring in the views or anything that is suitable for the company. So it's end of the day, it's the consumers.
I think they make music for getting it popular on Reels.
Yeah. So
The hook will be uploaded, and then that hook will be used in Reels.
exactly, Vicky Kaushal, Vicky Kaushal's one reel like made Obsession and Riyar Saab and
It wasn't Vicky Kaushal. It was Puneet Superstar who did it first.
really,
Yeah.
but Vicky Kaushal ka thing made it explode, na?
It was Lord Puneet who did it.
Maybe, but again, if you think about it, nobody really gave any like mind to the song Obsessed unless Vicky Kaushal made that one reel, and it
I
became
don't understand why it became so viral.
because girls are crazy for Vicky Kaushal, bro. I mean, yeah, he's a pretty good actor. He looks good. He made a reel. It went viral, mad viral. Like those kind of reels are like very rare. Like it happened.
Yeah.
So like Riyar Saab also got the recognition he very well deserves. Like many of my friends are like good friends with him.
The one who made Obsessed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
What's his name?
Riyar Saab.
Riyar Saab.
Yes. He's like one of the very good Punjabi artists out there. I love his music. Yeah. Man makes magic. Like it's needed for that. Like if stars were to promote their favorite songs, it would happen. T series at the end of the day has to make money. अब आजकल के 10-15 साल के बच्चों को ऐसे गाने चाहिए तो क्या करें. इवन करंटली इन लोगों ने झुमका का रीमिक्स बना दिया. आई वॉज नॉट हैप्पी बट आई एम प्रेटी श्योर द जनरेशन हु wasn't like exposed to the originals of Bollywood, they would like this because they don't know
What is that beat called? Reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
Reggaeton beat. That is what is being used in these musics, right?
Yeah. So house, reggaeton, rap, these kind of things are
Can
very.
make the sound of reggaeton beat.
You get confused. Maybe.
Yeah, something very much similar. Yeah. Variations are used in these musics.
So, like these are punchy, these are groovy. So, see, if you think about it, T series and the artist who get paid, first it's the number of streams, views on YouTube, then there's licensing. So, if the song is a very big hit, obviously every major venue or event would wanna play it. So many a times, so the songs require proper licensing to play them. So be it a bar, a DJ, or anyone, they have to pay a certain amount to the company to be able to get the permission to play the song. And because the people know that the song is a hit, they will pay the amount because they want their event to be a hit. Yeah. So because I spent like a year and a half in the wedding industry, like going.
What did you do?
So I was assisting. I was into assisting, and I was also performing. So this came up a lot in like the, like the event planning and everything, that there has to be a list for like the grooms and brides, like dances, like the family dances, and which songs cannot be played at the event without payment.
Acha.
So there are specific playlists which do not require that payment, but there are a lot of songs, very hit songs, that require that payment.
So songs like Burj Khalifa would have gotten some money for being played in these events.
If I'm not sure if Burj Khalifa is one
I
of
have
the,
something similar to that. The first song that came in my mind was this song.
maybe I if Burj Khalifa का ये license है, then yes, at every major event, every major or small event, you have to get a proper permission to play the song.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it's not just limited to YouTube or
Oh,
Instagram.
no, the music
where
thing goes way
copyrighted.
beyond. Music thing goes way beyond. For remixes, for remixes, anything like how Divine made Bazigar. To use that Bazigar, oh Bazigar, that hook, I'm pretty sure he paid like a proper big amount to use that, because you can't use an original proper licensed original by a music label to make a song out of your own unless you pay them or get the proper permission.
But uh, we see Deepraj Jadhav, we see Mayur Zumani, we also saw Yash Raj before he got very famous. They also used such clips.
But that
So
was
like
for Instagram, okay. So it's like sampling.
okay.
So what Yash Raj did, he took serials, like viral audios from the internet, and made something musical out of it. He never really took a proper song and used it in his reel. Right.
Yeah.
So he capitalized on what was going viral, and he made his own viral audios.
But there is one song na, so the Kutta Tommy Sada Kutta Kutta.
Is that a song really?
His song. He has Sahnaz Gill in it. So initially he has that Shah Rukh Khan's dhol wala scene. Okay. So he has that bit in it. So is it Instagram that is why he didn't get any copyright claim or anything, because he uploaded it on Instagram, YouTube as well.
He used the beat, na?
Yeah, it's a little segment from the original song.
Yeah. So okay. So you can't really copyright a beat. Okay. Because tabla, dhol, and everything, you will hear the same beat in thousands of songs. The placement might be different, but you can never properly copyright beats.
Achha.
Unless you're a beat producer and you properly get license on it and sell it, you can't copyright a beat because no one will ever know. आज अगर मैं ये करूँगा, someone samples it and uses it, I can never prove it was me unless we show them this clip. Oh, I did this, but then they'll say, how can you be sure this is exactly your thing? I could have just taken another beatboxer. Yeah, exactly. Like beats and like instrumental things are very different, because even in Bollywood or any industry, there are only a set number of scales in music. C to C again, C, E major, C sharp major, D major, D sharp major. So the scales are this, and on a single scale, there can be n number of songs. That is why mashups are made. That's how mashups are made. The songs are always in the same scale. So many a times you might listen to a Bollywood song and be like, "ये काफी scale का sound करता है." Yeah, because they are in the same scale. They are using the same.
We see a lot with the songs having similar subbeat in the starting.
Yeah, it happens a lot because, as I said, in keyboard or guitar, there can only be so much that you can do. Because the music industry is so saturated now, it is very very difficult to come up with original melodies.
Is it because what do you mean by saturated?
Because there's so much music coming out. Like right now itself, I can say someone is at least 1,000, 10,000, like over 100,000 people are making music right now all over the world, and they might be using some certain scale and making their own melody. There's already over 100,000 melodies that are being made now. Obviously, if you make one right now, there's no telling if it's original or like copied, because you don't know who has made which melody out there, right? But I can say like with 100% confidence ki because the industry is so saturated, it is near impossible to be 100% original in your melody section. Your composing can be different and your structuring of song can be different. Again, the melodies is where it really, bites you in the ankles.
So, like I was saying, uh, uh, about outsiders and people, those who might have contacts with people from the industry and get that opportunity and they grab it. Do you think on the international level, outside of India, artists or musicians have the same sort of thing going on, or they have better opportunities, or do they get earned really well? Bahar comparison में India के.
No. Music as a whole will not really differ from place to place. Okay, so in terms of payment opportunities, it depends how well the particular music is working in that country. So in America, obviously there is a lot more opportunity for hip hop, but again there are
Too many hip hop artists.
like there are already a huge number of hip hop artists who are very honestly already better than you. I'd say even beatboxing, India is yet to catch up on a skill level when it comes to beatboxing. It has caught up a lot. Beatboxers have leveled up like crazy in the last 2 to 3 years, and there are a lot of beatboxers in India who can already compete at a world stage. So in America, let's say rock works pretty well, funk, there's hip hop, there's even jazz. So like it depends. For music, everywhere is a struggle, but you just have to keep working on it.
Isn't America going more towards pop now?
Yeah. Because that's what's working there.
So do you? I really think this. I want to know if you think the same way. Pop is the easiest music form ever.
Really depends how well you can make pop. Because it's so easy, it's now harder to make it better.
You need storytelling. You need to be Taylor Swift.
See, Taylor Swift is a genius when you think about it. So she had a proper. I like imagine listening to one of her interviews or something where so like people were criticizing her album every time it came out. There were a certain group of people who would criticize her album. Like one was like too romantic, one was too depressing, one was too everything. So she is a genius composer, and her songs actually connect with a lot of people. Like that's very difficult. So in
She's
pop,
saving the economy of America. You know that thing.
no, okay.
So America is going through a lot of economic trouble, and she's on a tour. Her tour name is Eras Tour. Okay, so many Swifties are coming up that almost I don't know the exact number, but almost between $1 to $2 billion of revenue is going to be generated because of that.
Yeah.
So the people are like, ow, just do the tour here and let the fans come and book the hotels, restaurant, and everything.
Yeah. That's why like pop music, because it's so easy now, it's even more difficult to be noticed. Because if it's so easy, you have to be just as unique to get your name out there. If you're into the pop music genre, what can you do better? Because if not, you have 100 different producers or singers out there who are ready to work in pop. What makes you so special? So as easy as the art form gets, the harder it gets to be successful in it on a large scale. That's why like Taylor Swift is doing so well. Like there are only a few artists who can really connect with an audience that way. Obviously, luck is a factor, but skill is involved. A lot of skill.
So guys, we are re-recording this segment because recording was stopped, and I'll keep checking it after 10 minutes.
Technical difficulties.
Technical, yeah, but we'll learn from this. Yeah. So we were talking about. I asked this question to him about what does he think of pop music? Is it the easiest form of music that exists right there? Because I think so. But what the answer he'll give, maybe that changed my point of view about that.
So pop music, okay, it might be one of the easiest and like most accepted music, but that's what makes it more difficult. Like once something is very easy to do, it's just as hard to like get famous or successful in it because there's already so many people doing it. How will you make yourself stand out in a genre where anyone can just take up and be good in it in, let's say, what, 2 3 years, whereas some genres might take you 7 8 years of dedication to be good at. Then you can say that, yeah, I've dedicated myself to this art and that good in this art form. Because how it goes for violin, a certain instrument like, let's say, guitar or keyboard might be pretty easy to learn for someone, but violin or sitar, most people say is very difficult to learn. It takes a while. So so that's why when we listen like, oh, you're a violin player, you're a sitar player, we're like, damn, that's amazing, that's like a lot of dedication. So that already puts you apart from a lot of musicians. But if you're a keyboard player, there's already so many keyboard players because people can do it. It's easy to find classes. It's like convenient to practice if you have that focus. So that's what like makes pop such a difficult genre to succeed in. There's money in pop, but again, you have to be well connected and then very good in pop to start earning money. Which is something like that Taylor Swift capitalized on because her storytelling and her way of composing and everything is very unique, and it caters to the young female and even the male audience a lot, including my sisters. She's a Swiftie.
So, what is the underground beatbox scene in India?
So
As in, like in terms of battle and competitions.
in battle beatboxing, the battle is very similar to rap battling. So how two people face off against each other, and the judge decides who performed better. That's a battle. So beatboxing mein there's counters, there's like originality, technicality, musicality, structure. Similar way in rap, there's like diss, like who can diss better, who can. There's delivery, how well you can like say your words, how well your flow comes out. Obviously, flow, and then even in rap, you need some musicality. Your stage presence also matters, like how well you can handle yourself on stage. So beatbox and rap battle are pretty similar when you think about it.
So, do you think, uh, or like when we look in the hip hop scene, we have MTV Hustle as a reality show for rappers. We have new reality show for Indian hip hop dancers, which is being hosted by Nora Fatehi and Remo sir. It is on uh, Amazon Mini TV. Do you think some sort of reality show is going to come up for beatboxing specifically?
I doubt. Beatboxing, the kind of art form it is, you need something that people would be willing to watch on repeat, you know, like properly watch on repeat, and like they have to be engaged. If you were to listen to a rapper or a singer, you can just put on the song. If you like it enough, you can put it on a loop. You can relate to that song, you can connect to it. But with beatboxing is, you would eventually get pretty bored of listening to beatbox after a certain time. Like 10 minute, 15 minute, 20 minutes, when I said I'm just doing my कब तक ही सुनोगे? You can't listen to a drum solo for like an hour straight. You can't do it. So beatboxing as a solo art form, in my opinion, right now at least, does not have the potential to be as famous as rap. Obviously, rap has had much more time to age and like get that audience warmed up. But Indian audience already had that exposure through Honey Singh, Badshah, even in the Bollywood space. So they know now what rap is and what can be done in the hip hop space. That's why it's getting more like traction and acceptance. But beatboxing has to be paired up properly with like singing, rapping, or some other instrument so that it can sound interesting.
Yeah.
And so that people can feel some kind of familiarity.
It needs something which is merged with it together, right?
Yes.
So it has to be some sort of song, singer, or rapper with that.
Yes.
Right.
And it is also nice. Like it's innovative in a way because beatboxers usually are very used to just doing 1 minute, 1 minute 30 or 2 minute routines for like eliminations and battles, but they never think in the long term.
Okay. So, like in hip hop, we have different variations, different sort of genres in its subgenres, I would say. For example, Afro is there.
Yeah.
House is there. So, what are the different sort of genres that beatbox has?
So beatbox, every genre that is in music can be done in beatbox. The more popularized ones that people do are old school hip hop, rap, drill, house, drum and bass, R&B. So these are the okay, grime. Then there's jungle. So basically, like these are the kind of genres that people usually do. So it's beatbox has yet to properly like grab onto the other genres. DVK being one of the major examples who has taken up the Indian classical rhythm style more like into his style. He's the one who does it like way more than anyone else in India. Even I've taken it up after like jamming a lot with tabla artists and other drummers. It's very nice. It's like very freeing and very complex.
Right. So we'll put up the last segment now, and after that we'll be wrapping it up. So I think the segment that didn't got recorded, we did the tutorial thing, but I think that was not the right idea. So all these genres you talked about, you did trap, right?
Yeah.
Do it for them.
Okay.
Yo, yeah. My man, Sudarshan.bbx.
Sudarshan_bbx.
Underscore Instagram. That's Instagram, but I say it's
Sudarshan
stage name
BBX.
is Sudarshan BBX.
Yes.
Right. So this is it, guys. Episode 2 of the Small Man Show comes to an end.